gather round, y'all. Let me tell you a tale about a man named Ron who's blazing the trail. They say Scott Hammer's the boss on the show, but Ron's the one driving, just so y'all know. Ron Miller, he's the one in charge. Tear and hammer down like a big old barge. Scott, don't worry, it's all in fun. Ron's a real host when the race is run. Now Ron talks engines and he talks tires. Scott might be the match, but Ron's the fire. With his country charm and a wink in his eye, he's taking over and we all know why. Ron Miller, he's the one in charge. Tear and hammer down like a big old barge. Scott, don't worry, it's all in fun. Ron's a real host when the race is run. When Ron hits the mic, the crowd's on their feet. Scott's in the pits, they're just trying to compete. It's all good nature, just a country jest. But when it comes to upholstery, then the Ron's the best. Scott, don't worry, it's all in fun. Ron's a real host when the race is run.
Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, October 3rd. Woo. Hammer Down Racing Report, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. This is show number 350, 350 of these guys.
I got a question for you, Scott.
I have an answer.
Yeah? Who was our guest 100 shows ago on show 250?
I don't know. Did you look this up?
I did.
You have it written down.
I do. It was none other than the History Mystery Man,
was it?
Donnie Radabaugh.
Okay.
And that was a very memorable show. So, yeah,
I've been trying to get him to help me announce that at Oakshade, but he's always busy.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy.
He is.
But he's like, yeah, one of these days. Anyway,
yeah.
Scott Hammer, Ron Miller coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch from the Dominator Race Products Studio. Tonight on the show, we're going to be speaking with ARCA driver Lavar Scott, second in points, coming into Saturday's finale there at Toledo Speedway. Unfortunately, I think he's too far back. Perez, who is the leader,
right,
all he has to do is show up, and he pretty much is going to win. And
I don't know. Maybe we could make that happen.
Well, I'm saying he's pretty much locked in.
Yeah.
There's no chance that Lavar is going to
but
get
second
that championship.
Is
but he is
a
Rookie of the Year.
Of.
Yeah, first black Rookie of the Year in ARCA Menards Series history.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so looking forward to talking to him. Also going to give away some Mazza's Stone-Fired Pizza later on tonight. Speaking of which, I'm going to have to type that in. So at some point, you're going to have to do a commercial so I can do some typing.
Really?
I didn't put all the names. We got to spin the Mazza's Pizza wheel tonight, I do believe, because there were a few people. Not too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got a...
Oh, that's a pretty big number.
20% chance for each of those folks to win some pizza tonight.
It's a pretty big number for the pizza wheel.
It is.
Yeah.
They picked 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later. Also, hashtag DCR, put that in the comments of the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live, however you're listening to us live, and you'll be entered to win a Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker courtesy of DCR Graphics. These are pretty popular. A lot of people like these things. If you don't win, you can always order one from Dale there. Get a hold of him on his Facebook page. Facebook.com/DCR Graphics, and you can order one for $5. He'll mail it to you, whatever. So, looking forward to that. Also, tonight, I guess we got to talk about the Hammer Down Clashes. We've
got a lot to talk about there.
We're down to half of them left, and we've run 0.
Yeah.
So originally there was 4 scheduled of these bad boys, and of course, due to unforeseen circumstances at Sandusky, that was dropped. That was going to be the final show.
And I was really looking forward to that show.
Mother Nature derailed us this past weekend as we were set to get things going for the very first Hammer Down Clash, the first of 3 that were left,
right.
But it decided to rain. So, and there was some family emergency issues involved there as well. On top of that,
as well as the weather.
Yeah. So, yeah, and people asking about the swap meet at Oakshade, give them a little bit of time. They'll figure out a date. I know they were tossing around the 19th of October, but I was told that is not going to happen because I think Eldor is running that night.
Oh, okay.
So they are. They'll work on that as soon as they get that figured out. It'll be on the website. Hammer Down Clashes, though, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, presented by Victory Fuel. They are the Showdown series from the past 2 years. The Fremont Dirt Trucks versus the Oakshade Super Stocks, plus asphalt stocks thrown in there as well. They're more than welcome to compete with us.
And there's
Dirt Track Truck Series.
And there's some other cars that don't race any of those series that are endeavoring to get into the races and making changes to their cars.
So before we talk about that, let's talk about the dates. First one of these now is going to be Sunday at Millstream, which is going to be the first time that the series featuring mostly the Fremont Dirt Trucks and mostly the Oakshade Super Stocks are on
equal footing.
Yeah, they're not on each other's home turf. Neutral ground. That's what I wanted.
Okay,
they're on neutral ground.
No one has a home track advantage.
Exactly, and I don't believe either of us have run on the new configuration without the walls in the middle.
No,
there were the Strucks that used to run there years. Or Strucks, right. I forget what they called them. Which were basically run your own track. This is a little different. So I mean, that's
right.
what some of this controversy, not really controversy, but some online banter has been about.
Yeah. Good thing I've got broad shoulders.
Yeah.
I've been called some nasty names.
So
you know what? I don't care.
First event is Sunday at Millstream, and then the next event, which will be the last one, will be a week from Friday, the 11th at Fremont Speedway. And I talked to Rich Farmer this morning. He's going to release the payout for that Saturday.
Okay.
So that it's not officially out, but it's going to be good.
There's some details that he's working out.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite ready to release it. Yeah, and I talked with him yesterday. So, yep.
So keep an eye out for that on Saturday for that payout. But Sunday's payout, Millstream, what was it, $850 to win plus a $500 bonus. So that's what, $1,350.
Yep.
I believe Corey McCoy put up an extra $100 for
the first
highest finishing truck.
truck.
So there's still time if you want to put some money on Sunday's show. Pretty much through the end of tonight's about going to, well, no, we could probably do it tomorrow too, but it'd be easier just to do it now. If you want to put some money on any finishing position or highest finishing stock or lowest finishing truck or, whatever your heart desires, any bit of money, we'll add your name to the list of sponsors. Of course, I guess, again, the Hammer Down Clash is presented by Victory Fuel. Sponsors we have so far, A&S Auto Salvage and Repair. There's also a anonymous sponsor for the 11th place finisher at Millstream, getting an extra $50.50. And then DCR Graphics sponsoring the tech for these races. So that is...
Let's mention that Millstream has reached out to all of the drivers to to submit to them your My Race Pass information, at least your name, car number, and zip code or address.
I think it was just name and car number in class, maybe, but
they reached out to me because apparently there's a couple of Ron Millers in My Race Pass.
I gotcha. Well, there's only one Scott Hammer in My Race Pass, as far as I know.
You lucky devil.
I know.
So anyway,
but yeah, to help out with the check-in, because I guess they're expecting a lot of cars along with the late models and the Great Lakes Super Sprints, which they've already raced there, so they're already in their system there. But late models and super stocks and trucks, anybody that's planning to compete there, even if you don't show up, it would still help out.
Right.
Just put your name, car number. Just go to Millstream Speedway on Facebook. I shared it on the Hammer Down Racing Report.
The Great Lakes Super Sprints, have they raced on the big track yet?
No, because when they were there, they had the issues with the big track, so everything ran on the little track. So this will be a first for them on the big track as well as everybody else.
And completely new on this configuration to the late models and trucks and super stocks.
Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong one. I need to click on. There you go. If you want to put some money in, you can Venmo it. And again, all the money that comes in will go directly into the payout for the Hammer Down Clash presented by Victory Fuel at Millstream Speedway.
And that'll stay at the top right corner of our screen.
It's up there. It's kind of tiny. It's Scott-Hammer-20. You can look me up. Look it up by username on Venmo. It's got the Hammer Down Racing Report logo on there. And then just specify what position, what track too, because we're still taking sponsored money for Fremont, for Friday's race too. So still time to get involved, and the details of what position or highest finishing asphalt car, whatever you want to do. We're open with that, at least at Millstream. So there you go. HammerdownRacingReport.com. You can get more information on those events, and the rules have kind of been an issue with the post that you shared.
I don't know what you're talking about, Scott.
And I think that it possibly could be some confusion because years ago, I think 2016 was the last time, Millstream used to run under the previous management, the Strucks, as they called them, which was use your own track rules. The Eldora, Lima Land stocks could run their own rules. Fremont Dirt Trucks ran their own rules. Oakshade ran their own rules, and there were some discrepancies there. But it was mostly just for fun.
Right.
Ron Jenkins Memorial, great races there. Enjoyed running those too.
And now with this purse, it's getting a whole lot more serious.
Well, the purse is definitely big, but there was a little bit of confusion because this is not that same class.
Right.
That went away for years when the track kind of went dark again. And Corey came up with this idea of, the trucks and the Oakshade stocks were fairly equal, a little bit of tweaking there. And he came up with the Showdown Series rules.
After last year's Showdown Series, Corey manipulated the rules a little bit to equal things out a bit.
And again, you can find them at HammerdownRacingReport.com. Click on Hammerdown Clash and scroll down. Basically, the rules are the Fremont Dirt Truck rules with a few minor tweaks. Same with the Oakshade Superstock rules with a few minor tweaks on there as well. Dirt Track Truck Series trucks are legal, and asphalt street stocks are legal. I think they have to meet the Oakshade rules. If I'm right. But the tracks are doing their own tech. So I know some of the I've gotten some calls from Eldora and Lima Land stock drivers wanting to race there because it's Millstream.
Sure,
they don't race that much. Yeah, hopefully this will become more of a normal thing. But when this event first came up and we kind of talked, and this series was kind of already established, and that's kind of how it became that. I guess it was going to be
sort of evolved.
It was going to be a Showdown Series race, and then Corey kind of backed away from that, and we kind of picked it up and kept it as that. Right. So. That's I don't know if that doesn't put anybody at ease or anything, but that's just what it is. Everybody's free to make their own series and put things together.
And the rules are very much Fremont truck rules and Oakshade Super.
And we've tried to do some things to help any Eldora or Lima Land stock cars that want to compete. Right. I know you said I think Dittman Motorsports is having some. Tire
had some sort of a program, and I don't want to speak for Craig, but I guess there are some tires available.
Yeah, and Corey says that Shelley Farmer had added another $100 to Corey's $100. So apparently,
for the first truck,
I guess it's $200 going to the highest finishing truck.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So technically, if a truck wins, they could get, if I do my math right, 850 plus 300 plus 200. That's over $1,500.
Well, is Corey's 100 at Fremont, or is it at Millstream?
I believe it's at Millstream.
Corey,
pretty sure it's at Millstream. I saw that post somewhere.
Okay.
So so that's what's going on. Looking forward to that. Along with the late models, going to be a good show at Millstream. And
the Millstream is going to be basically dirt car.
Corey says Millstream.
Okay, it's going to be basically dirt car rules. Tires are 2s, 3s, and 4s, or 20s, 30s, and 40s. So tire rule shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, and for the stock cars, DOT tires are legal.
Right. For the stock cars, it'll be DOT, Hoosier H500s, or the Towel City Retreads.
So there you go. And
by the way, Craig Dipman will have his parts and tires there. His big truck will be there. And River City Speed Shop will have methanol and race gas.
I already have too much gas.
Yeah.
I need some fuel, though, for the car.
There you go.
All right, I think we pretty much covered that, beat that to death. If you have any questions about it, again, hammerdownracerreport.com. We have all the information on there, or put a question in the comments of our
toss it in the comments. We'll try to figure it out.
Try and figure it out. Again, Lavar Scott, ARCA driver, will be joining us in about 15 minutes or so. So stick around for that. And if you haven't done so, talk about that. If you haven't done so already, hashtag DCR in the comments for that Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. Contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane, custom print magnets, can koozies, tumblers, these things. Yeah. Coasters.
There you go.
For your car.
And it doesn't have to have the 8S on it.
It doesn't. You don't. I mean, you can get one of these, but you could get one with your own car, your favorite car, whatever Charlie's got pictures of, or you can get him a picture. I'm sure they could probably.
And it's got a little notch cut out of it, so you don't have to use a plastic fork or something.
Kind of like Pac-Man,
yeah.
Or like a little fishman.
Yeah, so you don't have to use a plastic fork to dig it out of your cup holder.
Exactly. You can give Charlie a call, 419-407-6994. You might, if you're a racer, you might want to order some 8x10s for your sponsors to thank them for helping out this year, or even the 2025 calendars. Yeah, exactly. Again, 419-407-6994. Freeze frame photo, special moments frozen in time. Rambler Race Cars has an event coming up this weekend. You want to talk about that for a minute? So I'll type in our names for our pizza thing.
I can do that. You know, big event happening Saturday that's not racing related, Scott.
But there's cars going to be there, though.
There'll be a lot of cars. It's the Whiteford Fall Festival, corner of Whiteford Road and Stearns Road in beautiful Ottawa Lake, Michigan. We're expecting well over 300 cars. The car show in Dundee was kind of unceremoniously canceled, so I'm thinking we should blow well past 300 classic cars. There'll probably be 25 or 30 antique tractors, a huge vendors area. I know that have been 12, maybe 13 food trucks sign up, so this is looking to be a big deal. And it's not very often, Scott, that you can have a car show that's family friendly. There's plenty to do.
They have family-friendly car shows?
Well, there's a lot of attractions.
I want to go to one of those.
There's a lot of attractions for kids. You can bring your kids, Scott.
He
could play in the bounce house.
I think he might be too old for that.
Could be.
Anyways, that's this Saturday, starting at
from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. It's not super long, and every dime of the proceeds goes to improve now the inclusive playground that we have, because there will be a ribbon cutting at 10 o'clock in the morning on the major piece that we have funded, and
that's the whole point for these things, is to raise money for that.
Absolutely. It's open, and kids will be able to play on it this Saturday.
Awesome. And
starting at 10 o'clock.
Zach Kaiser just posted in there. He's going to be at Millstream his first race since completing his chemo. So, congratulations
that's exciting.
on that.
Yeah, been following that.
We mentioned that when it was about a couple months ago, I think it started. So, good to hear that. Also got to mention Victory Fuel, the flavored electrolyte water that is free from artificial coloring, no caffeine, no carbonation, and it's got a full load of electrolytes with 120% of your daily vitamins. It is the choice of many teams on race day to stay properly hydrated. Contact local sales representative Tanya Conley for track concessions and for business wholesale inquiries, or order online at drinkvictory.com. You can use discount code Conley Racing, save 10%, I do believe, and it'll help fuel their racing programs. Right. Of course, Victory Fuel, the official beverage of the Hammer Down Racing Report.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Also, thanks to Dominator Race Products, DCR Graphics, Dippin' Motorsports, Oakshade Raceway, and Magic Moment Entertainment. Let's talk about the racing that did and did not happen this past weekend.
One of those.
Okay, here we go.
Racing Roundup.
One of those is a short list?
Yeah.
Oakshade Raceway, rained out. Montpelier Speedway, rained out. Those were the only things that were happening locally.
Helene put
did
a
hell of a job on.
Did you see that picture of I-40 that I posted? Oh, my goodness.
They got a lot of rain down there. North Carolina, Virginia.
To open until late 2025.
Yikes. It's going to be some traffic issues down there. It's probably the least of their worries, though, with all the destruction and everything. Yeah. So definitely feel bad for the folks down there. High Tech, we have a drought, and they got all that rain. So
right.
It's crazy. Mother Nature's a bitch.
Yeah.
High Tech Speedway, Toowoomba, Friday night. Luke Oldfield winning in the sprint cars. Darren Kane picking up the super sedans win. Wayne Iacano was your lightning sprint winner. And yes, it even rains in Australia.
Oh, it does.
Because Saturday night's action did get rained out.
Oh.
Yeah. Murray Bridge Speedway, also in Australia.
Yeah.
Saturday night rained out. So, World of Outlaws, NASA Energy Drink Sprint Car Series action Friday night. The Buckeye Brawl at Wayne County Speedway. Guess who won that?
Mother Nature.
Yes, rain there. Same goes for the 45th annual Jackson 100 at Brownstown Speedway. That was rained out, as well as the Night the Stars come out at Atomic Speedway for, that was Lucas Oil. I jumped down. The Federated Auto Parts Showdown at Sharon Speedway for the World of Outlaws was rained out. I jumped down to Lucas Oil stuff. That was all rained out this weekend, too, including the C.J. Rayburn Memorial at Brownstown and the 45th Annual Jackson 100 at Brownstown. Both rained out. Tuesday night rained out with the night the Stars come out at Atomic, so rained out for Lucas Oil and for the High Limit Racing Series. Speaking of High Limit Racing Series, they were rained out Saturday at Kentucky, or at Florence Speedway for the Kentucky Sprint Nationals, and that and Tuesday night was the only thing they had scheduled. World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Model Series, they got some racing in.
Really?
Yeah, Boot Hill Speedway on Friday night. Ryan Gustin, the Reaper, picking up the win on Friday. Saturday, the Texas Torpedo 50 at Rocket Raceway Park. Brian Shirley, Squirrel, picking up the win down there. So, yeah, World of Outlaws late models.
A little closer to home. Do you have any results for South Buxton Speedway in Canada?
I do not, but I did see Rusty Schlenk won.
Yeah.
And did Brian Ruhlman win?
And Brian Ruhlman won.
So congratulations to them. ARCA Menards Series action Friday night. Tanner Gray, I guess he got a flat tire as soon as he crossed the finish line. The Reese's 100 at Kansas Speedway. So tire hang.
That's a good time.
I know I can kind of relate to things failing right as you cross the start finish line. NASCAR action, the Craftsman Truck Series and Xfinity and Cup Series all at Kansas Speedway this weekend. Friday night in the trucks, Corey Heim picking up the win. Saturday was Eric Almirola in the Kansas Lottery 300 picking up the win. Ross Chastain got to smash that watermelon on Sunday in the Hollywood Casino.
That was a pretty popular victory, too.
Was it?
Yeah. Yep.
I was kind of flipping back and forth. I wasn't really paying much attention to it. I was watching a Browns game.
Oh.
But, anywho. Other notes, the BC 39 was this past weekend.
Right.
I didn't see it, but I guess things kind of got rained out Saturday night, so they finished it up on Sunday with the main event. Jade Avedissian put on a heck of a show, from what I hear.
Really? And
came up one spot short, though. Finished runner-up. Cannon McIntosh picked up the $20,039 win on Sunday there at the dirt track at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Hammer Down Racing Army results. We didn't really have much of our Hammer Down Army in action this weekend.
No.
Other than Bolton Colton, a.k.a. the Morenci Mohawk, a.k.a. the pilot of the Purple Cat in the kids junior division. I want to give him a shout-out. He finished second in points up there at Palmyra and had 4 feature wins, 8 heat race wins this year.
Bolton Colton's dad's got to start doing his special segment.
He's talked about it, too.
Yeah.
The Wrecker Report, the Resurrected Wrecker Report.
That's it.
I think we were going to call it something else, but yes, he does. And if you missed those, go back about, that was like 5 or 6 years now. Since we've had
yes.
I even had the little yellow lights. Remember all that?
I do.
Those were the days. Got to mention Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race. The season is over, but as I mentioned before, don't forget to check back for the date for the swap meet and the awards. OakshadeRaceway.com. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or even TikTok. And, of course, OakshadeRaceway.com will also have that information as soon as
any inside information
provided.
As to whether...
None whatsoever.
So you don't know if there's going to be a
don't know if there's going to be a banquet or a
banquet
pickup
or a drive-through or...
No idea. I would have probably asked Saturday had we raced.
Yeah.
But, no, I didn't even think about that the week before. So...
They probably didn't know.
And they were a little preoccupied with other things this weekend, so it wasn't a high priority to ask. But we'll find out as soon as we know. It'll be posted there. Also, Dittman Motorsports, the official Hoosier Racing tire dealer for Northwest Ohio. He's got parts trucks serving Fremont Speedway, Oakshade Raceway, and this weekend at Millstream Speedway. Any kind of race car service, parts, whatever you need, give him a call, 419-283-8580. He'll get you going in the right direction at least. Before we get Lavar on here, we'll just make sure I didn't miss a call there.
Okay.
I think he's going to be joining us with video, but we'll see here. Do a little bit of racing news before we get to that. And don't forget, hashtag DCR, still time to get in on that sticker. And Mazda's Pizza giveaway coming up here shortly as well.
Latest racing news.
I don't have much racing news for you this week, but what I do have is a lot.
Yeah.
Few things, a lot of the few things.
Oh, okay.
With 4 races left on the Kubota High Limit Racing schedule, Brad Sweet has a 258-point lead and has officially clinched his 6th National Sprint Car Championship.
In his own series.
Well, it's first in that series because it's the first for that,
Yeah.
but with World of Outlaws and whatever else. I didn't get the breakdown of the other ones, but his 6th overall for National Sprint Car Championships there. So, so the last 4 races, he doesn't even have to really race, I guess. I don't know.
But he's probably got a contract that says he has to be there.
Well, he probably should, seeing as how he owns the series, him and Kyle. Friday was an elimination race for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, eliminated from the playoffs on Friday were Ben Rhodes and Daniel Dye. So I guess only two drivers getting eliminated there on Friday in the Truck Series. The heavily saturated grounds from Hurricane Helene has, and the forecast for additional rainfall over the next 10 days have forced East Bay Raceway Park and Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series officials to cancel the grand finale.
That's a heartbreak.
That is, and that's like a week away, too. So, I mean, they're doing this way ahead of time. I guess it's pretty bad down there. Originally scheduled for October 10th through the 12th. So, I guess that was going to be the big Sunday, because I think that was going to be the last race at East Bay overall, wasn't it?
Forever.
Yeah, because they're tearing that down. That place next door bought the land or something. So,
yeah, I keep hoping that some white knight is going to come riding in and save the place.
I'm waiting for till the 11th hour there. I think this is the 11th hour. Running out of time. where was I here? The Brownstown Speedway. The Jackson 100 weekend has been rescheduled for those dates now. So actually, it'll be Friday and Saturday, October 11th and 12th at Brownstown Speedway. So they'll take two of those days. The festivities will begin on Friday, October 11th with the third annual C.J. Rayburn Memorial. And then Saturday, the 12th, will be the Jackson 100 with a complete show.
Right.
2411 Racing and Front Row Motorsports on Wednesday jointly filed an antitrust lawsuit in the Western District of North Carolina against National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, otherwise known as NASCAR. And its CEO, Jim France, arguing that the stock car racing circuit and its leadership have used anti-competitive practices to prevent fair competition in the sport. They say NASCAR and the France family operate without transparency, have stifled competition, and control the sport of stock car racing in ways that unfairly benefit them at the expense of team owners, drivers, sponsors, partners, and fans through the following anti-competitive practices. So we got a list here. You about ready for this? Let's switch some cameras.
They don't
here.
like the franchise deal.
This is the anti-competitive prices that is listed here by these guys. Buying a majority of the premier racetracks that are exclusive to NASCAR races, imposing exclusivity? Yes, imposing exclusivity deals on NASCAR-sanctioned racetracks, acquiring Automobile Racing Club of America, otherwise known as
ARCA,
the only notable stock car racing series competitor. I guess I don't know if they were competitive, but they were the biggest one, I guess, other than NASCAR, until NASCAR bought them.
And Lamar is intently listening.
All right. They also say they're preventing teams from participating in any other stock car races while also retaining ownership over next-gen parts and cars, and finally forcing teams to buy their parts from single-source suppliers chosen by NASCAR. They go on to say, no other major professional sport in North America is run by a single family that enriches themselves through these unchecked monopolistic practices.
Wait a minute, Scott. Didn't IndyCar just...
IndyCar is owned by, what's his name? Penske, yeah.
Yeah, and they are...
I'm still reading. This is from 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports. Right. So this is what they are saying. Central to the lawsuit are the original NASCAR charters adopted in 2016 and the recently updated 2025 agreements, which 2311 and Front Row Motorsports teams did not sign because of the unfair terms. In the coming days, they will file a preliminary injunction to enable their teams to race in the next calendar year under the 2025 charter agreement while continuing to pursue their antitrust litigation. But you're right, yeah, right.
Yeah, NASCAR IndyCar kind of copied NASCAR's.
Does he own Indy, or does he just own Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
I think he owns IndyCar.
Yeah, okay, I think you're right. I'm not 100% on that, but yeah, weird.
Help us here, producer Dave.
Yeah.
He knows everything. You know that?
Does he? That's what we pay him the big bucks for. And that is your racing news. And I think Lavar's still there. He just turned off his camera and his microphone. So pay a couple bills here, and then we'll pull him up.
He's back.
Oh, there he is. Okay. We can still hear. Let me pay a couple bills here, and then we'll talk to our guest here this evening. As soon as I figure out where they went. There they are. Dominator Race Products. They have what you need to be in the winner's circle. Dominator with 30 years of experience to put you out front. Check out their ultimate body race kits. That keeps your car in shape. Like when you get hit a lot, like me, yeah, maybe I need these. It'll bounce right back out. They also have the Dominator Racing stools available in a variety of different colors. Don't forget about the modified valance kits, plastic modified late model rear spoilers, and so much more. You can order direct from DominatorRaceProducts.com or call 419-923-6970. Dominator Race Products are also available from your local reputable race shops such as Ron Miller Race Cars. And mention the Hammer Down Racing Report. When you contact Magic Moment Entertainment, you'll get 100% off your reception DJ service. Magic Moments Ron Burt works with contracts. He also carries liability insurance. He never charges for mileage or dance floor lighting. He covers the entire states of Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky. He's been in business for over 30 years. Takes pride in working closely with couples to make their special day perfect. Wedding receptions may be his specialty, but they also do corporate events and mitzvahs. Call 419-594-2261 or find them on Facebook under Magic Moment Entertainment or Ohio Sports Splits. He's booking for June 2025 and beyond at this point. Wow. I think for like the next 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So with that being said, let's bring in our guest this week, who's, I guess, been getting a tour of Toledo today.
Yeah.
Pull him in here. Lavar, how's it going?
Very good, very good. Like you said, I've been getting a pretty big tour of Toledo. It's a really cool little city. I'm happy to be here at the race Saturday.
Is this your first time in Toledo then?
No, I've been to Toledo last year to watch my team in undress race last year, but it's my first time driving the track.
Okay, so you got to hang out with did you hang out with Charlie all day today?
All day. We just got back from dinner about 30 minutes ago.
Where did he take you?
Yeah,
with my favorite restaurant, Texas Roadhouse.
All right.
I told him to bring me some, but all right, very nice. So. Let's before we talk about this weekend, let's kind of get a little bit of a background on Lavar Scott here. Your family, I guess, was involved in drag racing, and somehow you got into quarter midgets at the age of 5. How'd you go from drag racing with the rest of the family and get into quarter midgets yourself?
Yeah, I don't know how the age or rule limit is now, but I know back then when we tried to start racing, you had to be 8 years old to drag race. And I have an older brother who's 3 years older than me, and he was 5 at the time, and he went to start racing. And the only option for him to race around us was like little dirt quarter midgets in Delaware. So he started doing that, and obviously just watching him. And when I turned 5, I wanted to start doing it too. So that's just how we went from drag racing to the over route. And when we started racing and taking it serious, my mom and grandparents hung it up and just focused on us.
So you started out on dirt and then went to pavement?
Yes, I went to pavement about 4 or 5 years ago when I was 16.
Oh, okay. And you raced quarter midgets up until about 16?
No, I did. When I turned 11, I switched to the micro sprints.
Okay.
125 cc's, 250s, 270s, and then the 600 micro sprints.
So your family's been supportive of you going in circles despite their background in going in a straight line?
We joke around about it a lot. About disciplines there is for each type of racing. But everything I do in life, they've been super supportive, and if it wasn't for them, none of this would be happening.
So I'm assuming, though, that not much of drag racing transfers over into circle track racing. So they probably couldn't give you much advice there. How'd you learn to drive? Did someone take you under their arm and kind of teach you all that?
Back then, I was racing in dirt quarter midgets. We would race 3 times a week. We would race on Sunday in Delaware, and then Wednesday and Friday we're racing somewhere in New Jersey or Pennsylvania. So just I think doing it so much, you're naturally going to learn the skill. And then before I was 5, like I used to sit in the quarter midget, and my grandpa was just pushing around the dirt track like while the engine was on. I was able to run it with the engine on and just make some sort of laps and just get comfortable. And we was always driving something throughout the week, whether it was just go-karts in the yard, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, anything. So just always being behind the wheel of something, I think helped a little bit.
Do you think your dirt background has helped you in your pavement racing?
For sure. There's a few little areas that I kind of can take over just with when the track starts to change, you got to find different lines. I think I'm decent at that just from being dirt racing and kind of search and find what's fast, and that's an area that I think I'm really pretty good in. And there's just when the car is loose, know how to handle car control, a few things like that. I think naturally just carry over.
Taking care of tires is a big deal on dirt.
That was actually something that I
Asphalt.
really had to learn. Our dirt races are 25 laps, so
okay.
lap 1 to 25. You're pushing it, and asphalt is obviously very different. So I would say even now I struggle with it. It's still something that I'm learning, trying to learn how to really manage a tire. But it's over time it should come.
So how did you get into full-size stock cars then, and how long you've been running them?
Yeah, so that was all thanks to Rev Racing and NASCAR Drive University. I was able to go to the combine back in 2019 where they did it in the little go-karts at the Trackhouse Motorplex. And I actually failed my first combine. I wasn't able to make the team. So I went back home, raced my dirt car some more. I got some more pretty big wins. And they invited me back for the adult combine a few months later and came back and did pretty well there. And I got accepted for the team in 2020.
It sounds like you're hitting your stride here recently, too. Rookie of the year this year, second in points. Unfortunately, it sounds like your teammate's going to take the championship. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great year. He's a remarkable driver, very consistent. So once we had issues at, I think it was Toledo, where car kind of failed and we went 30 points behind, you kind of knew there just how consistent he is. It was going to be very hard to make that up. But nonetheless, it was still a great year. We got some really good second place finishes. We got to fight for wins a few times. And this battle with him all year it's been super fun.
One of our listeners here wants to know who's the better quarter midget driver, you or your brother?
I would give the dirt racing to him. He's really good. He's been doing it so long, and he still races twice a week, 2 times a week. So he's probably better than me at that discipline.
Is he going to follow you into ARCA?
No, he's very content with. He loves dirt racing. He loves his home, his lifestyle back at home. We own a family business, and he helps my mom run the shop and goes racing on the weekends, and he lives life with his friends there. So he's fine.
I would be fine with that. Sounds like a good life to me. So, what are some drivers that you look up to, or maybe are your heroes?
Yeah, I would say definitely Kyle Larson. I'm obviously coming from the same background as me. He did the dirt racing and switched over to asphalt, kind of like I'm trying to do. And just he wins at everything he does, right? I mean, you can't take that from him. If he gets into a cup car or a dirt car on a Wednesday, a car at Millbridge, a go-kart, anything he's driving, he has a high chance of winning. So you can't not look up to a guy like that. And then I would say on the track and off the track situations, probably a Bubba or a Raja Karuth. I'm really close with Raja, and just with different situations that I can kind of handle off the track, he's always been there to help me.
Cool. So
I'm very impressed with him.
Yes. He is doing. I don't know what happened. He had a really good year, but I would say these last few weeks he's picked it up big time.
Yeah.
He's definitely matured over the last year or two too.
Yeah,
at least sure. What I've seen.
For sure. He's always been a pretty mature kid, but you could definitely see a difference these past 2 years, and I think that's going to come with just being in a truck and racing for GMS and racing for Spire and being around those guys. You're going to learn how they're talking about setup, feedback, and just I think all that you're naturally going to just have more a mature persona about you.
Let's talk about Toledo this weekend. Final race of the year for the ARCA Menards Series. Did you get out on the track at least to look at it? When do you get out on the track for practice or anything?
Everything was on Saturday.
Everything's on Saturday. Okay.
Yes, so that's going to be the first time. Second time I see the track in person, but the first time I'm on it. But I watched some videos of last year, and it looks like a true short track. Just go to the wall and go to the bottom on the corner. So there's some short tracks that are kind of that race pretty weird, but this is a true short track to me.
Yeah, you just make it as much of a circle as you can.
Exactly. It's a bigger outgo.
And you've got 2 second place finishes, and both of those this year came on short tracks. Does that give you a little bit of confidence going into the race on Saturday?
Yeah. Yes and no. I'm pretty confident anywhere we go. But like you said, we had a pretty good run this year on short tracks, and that's kind of been something that we've been working on a lot. If you look at our past results and in recent years, we struggled on short tracks. So to have that kind of be your strong suit this year is pretty cool to see. And our mile and a half program and super speed program is still really good. So I'm going into this weekend very confident, but also just happy to how the year went. I'm happy for the year to be over, but it also sucks it's not the last race.
So any predictions? Where do you think you're going to end up? Right there in victory lane, winner's circle? I
would hope so. I think so. We worked pretty hard to have a shot at winning, but racing, anything can happen. And we're just ready to, like I said in an interview a few days ago, just ready to overcome any adversity that comes our way.
Well, we say this a lot, and it was a couple weeks ago. It kind of had some bad implications. But a lot of times, our guests will go on to win their next race. We had Matt Tift on. He was at Toledo actually for the Glass City 200 a couple weeks ago, and the following week after he was on the show, he flipped his dirt late model over a lot at Erie's over in Pennsylvania. So don't do that.
Hopefully, is Matt the one?
He's the one that got kicked in the face.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He had a bad few weekends there.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, it was not good.
No.
But at least he won, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't. He didn't win anything, but yeah. We'll move on from that. Thoughts on Toledo Speedway? It's kind of a one-lane track, kind of difficult to pass. What are your thoughts on bumping or nudging, wrecking people, whatever, to advance your position?
Honestly, I just think I'm pretty clean. I just race people how they race me. There's been some situations this year where I kind of had to get aggressive, where people blocking or don't want to move off the bottom, and I know they raced me during the pass, so you kind of do what you have to do. But if it's everything's situational, if it's the right time, right moment, you have to do it. It's understandable. If we're talking lap 5 here, you're moving someone for 7th place, then I don't really see a point there. But if it's, I can promise you, if it's last lap and I'm going for my first win, and it needs to be a bumper involved, there might be a bumper involved.
Gloves come off on that final lap there. Yeah. Any sponsors you want to give a shout out to? And well, go ahead with that. Then I got another question for you.
That's for sure. I definitely want to thank Rev Racing and Max Siegel and Team Chevy and this NASCAR Drive Diversity for all the hard work of putting us in this position and letting us succeed all year.
What, if any, do you have plans for next year? You're going to run the ARCA Series again with Rev Racing, or what's going on?
Nothing signed yet and official, but I have a pretty. I would imagine I'm back in ARCA next year and going for that championship. Okay,
if a truck ride were offered to you, would you say, heck yeah, or would you say, I mean, I'm not ready, maybe I need another year in ARCA? What would you say to that?
That would come out, just consult with Rev Racing and see what's the best plan for me.
All right, very politically correct.
Perfect.
You've been trained well. Well, LeVar, we appreciate the time, and we wish you the best of luck this weekend and the season finale. What do you got planned for the off season? Do you do any racing? Go back home, maybe do some dirt racing.
I'm going to Mexico with my teammate Andres.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And he's
obviously the award ceremony, but my main off season plan is to go have some fun with him in his hometown.
And he's going to be the first international champion, I read, for ARCA history.
Oh yeah.
So. Pretty cool deal there.
Yeah, he's the man.
Is he with you there?
He's over here.
Oh, tell him we're sorry we didn't have him on this year. So when you beat him, it's our fault. You can blame us.
He's coming.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Very good, and you?
Pretty good.
I've been hearing the whole time.
Okay.
Hey, you better don't say nothing wrong about me.
Okay. So say it comes down to that last lap, and you're the car that he's got to lay that bumper on. What's going to happen after the race?
Oh, we're willing to do whatever to win. I think so. Neither of us have reached victory lane yet, but we've been so close. There was a stretch during the summer that I think we were like 7 weeks, second place. In a row for Rev Racing, so we're as hungry as we can be for that win. So like you said, I'm taking the championship, so I'll be really happy if Lavar gets it done. That doesn't take the fact that I also want to win it. So it could be a really big weekend for us. So we'll see how it goes.
So if Lavar's in front of you, there's and it's the last lap, that bumper may be used the opposite way then.
Better not. You got the championship.
Yeah. The only consideration I'll have this year.
This race.
Listen, if I could pass him clean, I'll probably do it, but I would never race. I race really clean, especially with my teammate. So yeah. Hopefully we are in that position, just the other way around, so he can decide what to do, and I don't have to decide. He has to decide.
Gotcha. Are you guys leaving right after the race, or are you guys spending another night in Toledo after the race?
I am spending another night, and yep.
If I win, and I might stay with it.
Okay. I just didn't want.
If I finish 6th or something, I might just take the plane back home.
I just didn't want any bad blood between you two if you guys had to share a hotel room that night.
Never. Nah, it would be good.
All right, man.
Did Charlie have to take both of you guys out to dinner today?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Breakfast and dinner.
Nice. Is he taking you around tomorrow? What are you guys doing a media tour tomorrow or anything?
We're doing some more media stuff. I think the day started at 9 o'clock, but it's all fun for us. It's the life we live, and it's amazing for us. So nothing we do is work. It's fun.
Awesome. All right, man.
That's great. Congratulations to both of you on a great season.
Thank you for having Lavar. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We appreciate it.
See you guys.
Yep. We'll see ya. There you go. Lavar Scott and Andres Perez joining as well. Your, I guess, technically he's the official champion of the ARCA Menards. As long as he shows up on Saturday.
Right.
They are sharing a hotel. I don't know. Maybe he could just disappear tomorrow. Who knows? Don't get any ideas, LeVar. So, LeVar, pretty cool guy. I wish them the best. We'll see who wins.
Both
I know Swalich has won a lot of that. So has Zilich as well. They've picked up a lot of wins, but they weren't running for the championship. So these two guys have been consistent all year. So, cool. Moving on. Well,
real quick, Cody Thomas, I think your DCR has to have a hashtag in front of it.
There you go, yeah.
Otherwise, it won't count.
Correct.
The computer doesn't understand.
And yes, $100 off the Magic Moment Entertainment DJ services.
Ooh.
Did I say? I didn't say 109%, did I? That'd be a lot off. That means Ron would owe you money.
That'd be
a good deal.
I'll sign up for that deal.
He's going to DJ your wedding and pay you money. That's not real. Strike that, yeah. Don't take that out of context. Moving on. How about we give away some pizza? We're doing everything out of line here, or out of order. Before we do give away our pizza and do our how many, first got to mention the Hammer Down hotline. No calls on that.
No texts?
No calls or texts. Like 2 weeks now. It's been... I probably should call it to make sure it still works, but there's the number, 419-318-3081. Call or text anytime, day or night. Whatever's on your mind, let us know.
Scott, that really hurts my feeling.
Does it? Your one feeling?
I have one left, and that one hurt.
Okay. Call and tell us what you think of the Hammer Down clashes. I know there's a lot of comments online there. Maybe we'll get some texts or something on it. I'm looking forward to that. I'm just looking forward to racing at Millstream on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
And seeing late models back there.
And Fremont the following week.
And Fremont, yes, definitely. Going to be a good couple weeks to finish off the season. Know what's best about it? I don't have to work. I just get to be a race car driver for a change.
Really?
Yeah. Why is Dave calling?
Hello?
Why are you calling, Dave? Producer Dave? Yeah, you're on the show. What's up?
I'll just make sure it works.
Oh, well, that's not the Hammer. Wait, did you call the Hammer Down hotline?
Yeah.
It doesn't ring to my phone. You called my phone.
No, I didn't.
Wonder if my Google Voice said, yeah, okay. Never mind. Thanks for calling, Dave.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
I don't think it rings to my phone.
We went
It
from
just
a
tells
really
me I
good
get-
show to going downhill pretty bad.
All right. Anyways, Hammer Down hotline's there. Again, that number, 419-318-3081. Now, I'm going to have to call it from a different phone and see if it makes my phone. Usually I get a notification saying
if
somebody
you
had
call
called.
it can't transfer to your phone because you're already on it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Let's do some pizza giveaways. Thanks to Mazza's Pizza, sponsor of Brandon Goad. Moving over to the truck. Do you know, are the Goads going to be there for the
No, they're
clashes? No, they're not going to have the trucks ready? I know you had one of them. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, Mazza's Pizza, Stonefire Pizza up there in Point Place. You get a large one item and cheese bread. Are you calling the Hammer Down hotline?
No.
Oh.
I was going to, but...
So last week's how many was how many Hammer Down Clash competitors were going to be at Oakshade on Saturday, plus how many topless competitors were going to be at Oakshade. That number turned out to be 0 because it got rained out, and we had 5 people that guessed 0. surprisingly, only 5. So we're going to spin the Mazza's Pizza Wheel to determine who's going to win this week's large one-item pizza and cheese bread, which you will have 30 days to claim. So the folks who guessed correctly, and one of them was my brother, which I did point out that I made this suggestion too on the show, because a lot of people guess right away, which is fine. I like that.
Yeah.
But they had until 4 o'clock on Saturday to put their guess in. Oakshade canceled just about 2 o'clock, I think. My brother put his guess in like at 2:05 of 0. So I'm like,
call him Mr. Obvious.
I'm like,
right?
well played, sir. Well played. So it's just,
I'd take him off the wheel.
He might share some with me, so I got to keep him on.
Yeah,
there.
okay.
He might share some with you too. You never know. So we're going to spin the the Mazza's Pizza Wheel. So many years doing it that way. It's like ingrained in my brain. Guessing 0 again, as I mentioned, Brian Hammer, Dean Henry,
Yeah.
Junior Anthony, Gretchen Knapp, and Doug Frost. Those were our
some pretty familiar names in that group.
Yeah. So let's see who's going to win the Mazza's Pizza for this week as we spin the wheel for
it's so
a large
exciting.
one item. It's not going to be Brian. It's not going to be.
It's going to be Junior Anthony.
Junior Anthony, congratulations! I think Junior Anthony is not local, so we'll have to see about that.
Yeah.
But let me know, Junior Anthony, if you will be able to redeem that large one-item pizza and cheese bread within 30 days if you're in the Toledo area over there at Point Place. So,
And if you're coming from somewhere east of here, it's worth the drive.
it is. So let me know on that. Otherwise, your name will be there for 30 days to pick up that pizza. So congratulations to Junior Anthony. This week's how many? You'll never guess what this week's how many, because you like to do the math problems.
Yeah.
So I kept the math problem for this week.
Baby.
I did not type it in yet either. I was bad today. I was just lazy. What?
You asked me to fill some dead air so that.
Well, here, I can do it this way real quick. It's very similar to last week's. On Sunday at
Millstream.
So there you go. It has something to do with Millstream. Save. And then here we go. So there it is. How many Hammer Down Clash competitors plus how many late model competitors will be at Millstream on Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
So say there's 40 in the Clash. I think there's going to be more than that. That's just my personal thinking. I'm just throwing out numbers for examples, and 20 late models. Your guess would be 60 if that's what you think it's going to be. So just that total number. And, before we mention that, I should say that you picked... That's not right. I think I won last week, didn't I? Because I picked 70, but I think I copied down the numbers wrong here. Oh, and I left it on my desk. I'm pretty sure I said 70 last week, and you said 71?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had them reversed on my paper here. So technically I won then because I was closest by 1. So I'll have to pick first this week for this. If you want a chance to win that Mazza's Pizza, go ahead and put your guess in the comments of the Facebook Live or YouTube Live. We'll give you until, I believe, gates open at 2:30, or is it 2? Is it 2?
2.
2.
Gates open at 2.
Are you sure?
That was what I read.
Wow, I didn't update this. I think, I'll double check that here before we get to that. We'll say guesses until noon then on Sunday.
That sounds good.
Okay, that'll at least give a couple hours before the gates open. So gates, or the guesses can be put into the Facebook Live or YouTube Live up until noon on Sunday. For that, just put the guess in the comments of our Facebook Live. Again, how many trucks, stocks, and late models total are going to be at Millstream on Sunday. Whoever is closest, doesn't matter if you go over or under, will win that one large, one topping pizza and an ordered cheese bread from Mazza's Stone-Fired Pizza in Point Place. And if we have a tie, we'll spin the Mazza's Pizza Wheel once again. Gates at 2, grandstand at 4, racing starts at 5:30. I did remember the 5. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. I thought it was 2:30 for some reason, though. And for some reason, I never updated this. I've been slacking this. It's been a busy
Once
week.
Once again, Scott, why do you question me?
No, I did have the 5:30, right? Why did I have the Gates at 4?
Scott,
what?
Why do you question me?
I have my reasons.
Shut up and guess, Scott.
Oh, that's right. I got to guess, don't I? I got to guess first. I gotcha. So I think there's going to be upwards of 50 of the stocks and trucks. And then I'm thinking 25 late models. So I'm going to go with 75.
Really?
That's going to be my number.
You know, being greedy, I would say 76.
I'm with Dave Gumby Jr. here.
But I'm going with the exact number, and Nancy Schoenauer was really close. She said 82. I'm going 83.
83.
I'm going for the exact number. I'm not going to just one-up you.
All right. Fair enough. So there you go. If you haven't put your guess in, you have until Sunday at noon if you're listening to us on the podcast. By the way, thanks to all our podcast listeners. I forgot to mention that. We had our biggest podcast month ever last month in September. Right. Most listeners we've had. That not on streaming live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. It's just on just the audio only on Spotify, whatever podcast you listen to.
And it doesn't count the people that listen to us on Friday morning or...
Well, it does.
Oh, okay.
If they're listening to the podcast.
Okay,
on Spotify. If they're listening on Spotify or iHeartRadio or...
But not
whatever.
Facebook or
not
YouTube.
the videos. It doesn't count the video viewers. So we're on too many different platforms.
You would think it should.
Yeah, and speaking of which, this is our last show on... this is our last show. The Simpsons did that. That was their first episode of the year. Like, by the way, this is our final show. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Our last show using this platform we've been using for the past few years for our live videos. We're going to switch to a different one next week because they boosted the price like by 100%. So
you won't notice the difference.
We're hoping you're not going to notice it, but tune in next week to see if you do notice a difference because chances are there might be some bugs. Try and have them all worked out ahead of time. That's what the video portion, podcast parts should be the same.
You folks that are listening now, this is the live stuff.
If you're listening, to the audio only, you'll probably not notice any difference because that all goes through this little guy over here,
right?
And it can handle things. The live, and I can always edit stuff out of the live as well. I rarely do. Most of the time when the podcast gets uploaded, it is the entire live show, mistakes and all. It's all in there. I don't usually cut things unless it's a real bad mistake or something really awkward. But for the most part, everything just goes right into that podcast audio. Let's talk about the races coming up this weekend and then get the heck out of here. We also have our weekend weather pit stop forecast with Ron Miller. He's been working hard behind the scenes putting this forecast together because we got some big races this weekend and we want to know what the weather's going to be like. So stick around for that. Right now, let's do that. The Mazza's Pizza race menu. Yeah, this one.
This weekend's racing menu.
So Saturday, of course, Toledo Speedway. So we just talked to Lavar Scott there. The Owens Corning 200 featuring the ARCA Menards Series. They're also going to have the Outlaw Super Late Models in action. Pit gates open at 10 a.m. And the Outlaw Super Late Model race, I believe, is going to start at 1:30. And then the Owens Corning 200 is scheduled to start just after 4 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. General admission tickets are $31. I didn't hear anything this year if they're doing the discount tickets at Menards. Have you heard anything on that? I hadn't heard anything on that. So check out Menards and see if you can get the discount. I know in years past you could always save like a pretty good discount if you get the tickets from there. But at the track, $31 for general admission. And the race will also be televised on FS2, again, starting at 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Sandusky Speedway back in action with the Bev Jaycox Memorial Cavalcade.
Discount at Menards, according to Dave Kemmer.
Dave Kemmer, thank you. I hadn't heard anything, but it seems strange because they always have the Menards discount there, especially since Menards is the title sponsor of the series.
Thanks again, Dave.
Dave is on top of us. He's getting a raise. He's kicking some ass tonight.
Double his pay.
Yes, there you go. I forgot. Sandusky Speedway. The Cavalcade featuring Super Modified. This is Saturday, first 2-day show. Super Modifieds, Modified Street Stocks, Pure Stocks, Open Compacts, All-American Iron, Ace Racing League, Midvale and Barberton Compacts, Beginner Stocks, Warriors. Not sure what time gates open, but racing will start at 7 p.m. General admission is $15 there at Sandusky. They did a Facebook Live last night. If you want more information on the Cavalcade, they had Kevin Jaycox on, and is it Rob Lucius?
I think so.
Yeah. Rick Lucius. Mr. Lucius was also on there, who's kind of taken over for Chris Mize.
Right.
And they talked about everything going on this weekend. So if you want more information, check that out. Also Saturday, Montpelier Speedway. Actually, I heard from, what's his name that's running Montpelier Speedway now? The milkshake guy.
Right.
We're going to get him on and talk to him prior to the Monster Mash in a couple weeks. Yeah. So we'll talking to him. This weekend, though, is the Super Special with Super Stocks, USAC, Midwest, Thunder Midget, Street Stocks, and Hornet Frenzy. Gates open at 5 at Montpelier Speedway over there in Indiana. Racing at 7. General admission is $18. Waynesfield Raceway Park. Championship night with the Boss Sprints, Great Lakes Super Sprints. Modifieds, compacts, gates open at 4, racing at 6:30. General admission $15 there at Waynesfield. It's not 100%, it's $100 off. Yes. Sunday, Sandusky Speedway, Bev Jaycox Memorial Cavalcade. Again, night number 2. This will be the features. Actually, it's afternoon number 2 because it's the afternoon event. Starting at 1 o'clock with Super Modifieds, Modified Street Stocks, Pure Stocks, Open Compacts, All-American Iron, Ace Racing League, Midvale Barberton Compacts, Beginner Stocks, and Warriors. Pit gates will open at 9 a.m.
Ooh.
That's like the hangover race hours.
Yeah.
With racing at 1. That is same as the hangover race hours. General admission Sunday at Sandusky Speedway is $20. And then the race we've been talking about here a lot tonight, the one we're excited about, the Hammer Down Clash at Millstream Speedway featuring Dirt Car UMP late models, the GLSS Sprints, and the Dominator Super Stocks versus the Fremont Dirt Trucks, otherwise known as the Hammer Down Clash Series.
Right.
For this year, at least. Gates open at 2 with racing at 5:30. Yeah, I think it's pit gates open at 2.
Right.
So, yeah. And $20 is general admission for that event. That ought to be a big show. Late models, I forget what the pay was. They have that posted too. It's a pretty good pay for that. Do you remember what?
I don't.
It's because you don't run a late model anymore.
Yeah.
Late models, pit gate 2, main gates open at 4, racing at 5:30. There is a senior military discount, $18 tickets for that, $15 for ages 11 through 15, 10 and under free. And they don't have the payout on that. It's on the Facebook page. I'd have to find that. But anyways, you can check out the payout there. It's on Millstream's Facebook page. They got that posted. It's pretty good.
It's a respectable payout.
I don't remember what it was, but it was pretty good. So, what is, and this is the biggest thing, I know the forecast is looking pretty good for Saturday for your festival and the Saturday night races. How are we looking for Sunday?
Scott, there's a slight chance of rain, but I think it's going to fizzle out. You know,
that's kind of what I was seeing.
But
I haven't watched the forecast.
I'll tell you what, there is a high pressure dome that's coming over us, and it's going to be a little bit chilly for the next 2 weeks. Cool, not cold. I don't see any rain. I just don't see any rain.
So we're building the dome over the tracks this weekend. I like it.
That's it.
High pressure dome. All right.
It's kind of like the Iron Dome that they've got in Israel, except this is a high pressure dome, and it's making all the rain go away.
Well, I watched several forecasts, including our former weekend weather forecast reporter, Ryan Weekman on Channel 11. He said that the chance of rain on Sunday is definitely going down, and it's mostly to the south and east of us.
Right.
And then I also watched a different forecast, which kind of showed a little blip of rain just kind of over Toledo, and then it fizzles out. It's definitely was all north of Findlay.
Right.
And it looked like it fizzled out before it got to Sandusky. So
I watch a lot of National Weather Service and some of the airports, and those forecasts really need to be pretty spot on. And I don't think Findlay is having any trouble. And Fremont the following week, we're not going to see any rain until probably until a week after Fremont.
So Fremont will be good.
Yes.
Awesome. So we'll get these. We'll get at least half of our Hammer Down clashes in.
That's it.
Other series action and racing down under High Tech Speedway Toowoomba. Saturday, it's going to be the Ultimate Sprint Car Championship #1, featuring pro sprint cars, speed cars, and compacts. And Murray Bridge Speedway, also in action Saturday with the Bill Wigzell Battle of the Bridge, featuring sprint cars, Formula 5s, King of the Bridge Junior F500s. That's all Saturday. Then Sunday, it's sprint cars featuring Australian Sprint Car Stampede, speed cars, and a demolition derby. Why not?
Ooh.
Do they have, what is that weird racing where they just crash cars? I can't think of what it's called.
I haven't seen that. No.
Or is that only like in
Great
Europe?
Britain,
Is
Europe,
it okay? That's some those guys are crazy. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series action this weekend. Friday and Saturday, it's the 30th annual Pittsburgher at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars Series will be in action at Williams Grove, I do believe, for the Weiss Markets National Open. That's Friday and Saturday night. Craftsman Truck Series for NASCAR. Friday night is the Love's RV Shop 225 at Talladega Super Speedway. That'll start at 4:30. That's a little early. That'll be on FS1. And then NASCAR Xfinity Series action, the United Rentals 250 at Talladega. That'll be Saturday at 4 o'clock on the CW. And then Sunday, it's Cup Series Yellowwood 500 at Talladega Super Speedway. That starts at 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon on NBC. Banger Racing. Yes, that's it, John. Yep. Thank you. That's what I have a video game that's kind of like that. Ooh. It's fun to play in a video game, but I can't imagine doing it in real life.
And assistant producer John Young says pit passes at Millstream, $35.
$35, yeah. All right. High Limit Racing Series scheduled for action on Tuesday. The FVP Platinum Batteries Midweek Money Championship at I-70 Speedway in Missouri. And that is your Mazda's Pizza racing menu for this weekend and a bit beyond. Let's do our drawing for our Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker, courtesy of DCR Graphics. Again, you can get these for $5 from Dale Cole at DCR Graphics, and he's not doing the car designs anymore. I talked to him about that video game he's doing the car designs for. Originally supposed to come out in November. Sounds like it's not going to get done by November, but they're going to put out a free demo.
Ooh,
in November. So when we get more information on that, we'll let you know how to check that out. Like, a bunch of local tracks are going to be on it. But again, he does a lot of the car designs for it. But if you want a sticker, Hammer Down Racing Report sticker, get a hold of him. $5, he'll mail it to you. And then you can slap it on your race car if you got one, and you'll be part of the Hammer Down Army. We'll report where you finish each week. You get on your car for next year, because this year's race season's winding down. But somebody's going to win one. Hashtag DCR. If you haven't put that in the comments yet, you have about 30 seconds to do so. If you have done it, then you're all good. If you do it more than once, it's not going to help you at all. And, yeah. I guess we are. I think the only thing we were cutting off on was the how many, where you could only guess once on Facebook or YouTube. If you're smart on this, you could probably put hashtag DCR on both Facebook and YouTube.
Could be a back door, yeah.
I'm just saying, this is work in the system. So let's go over here. It looks like we've got 24 entries tonight, and find out who is going to win the window sticker this week. Let's pull this up here. I think that's the right one. Yeah. So 24 entries. Here we go. The winner of our Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker, courtesy of DCR Graphics, for tonight is going to be...
Who's going to be the winner?
One of those names flashing across your screen right now is probably not going to be the winner. Dave Gumby Jr. is going to be the winner. A former Hammer Down Army racer. Now he can be a Hammer Down Army racer again.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Dave Gumby Jr. I'm assuming you probably... we'll be seeing him before me?
Yeah, I think probably.
Okay. We'll just DGJ. There you go. So there you go, Dave Gumby Jr. Get your sticker from Miller Race Cars. So, and thanks again to DCR Graphics for providing those window stickers, which you can get, again, for just $5 if you didn't win. But we got a couple more. Actually, we got more there than I thought. Still a few more to give away here in the next few weeks. But That is about going to do it for this edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report. Thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer. Congratulations on your raise tonight. Yep. Hope you enjoy that. Definitely well earned.
Don't spend it all in one place.
So 200% raise. 200% of zero is what?
Yep.
Contributors John Young, Dean Henry, Bob Stazak, thank you guys as well. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on X, at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Check us out at hammerdownracerreport.com. Again, hammerdownracerreport.com, clash information, any last-minute sponsors, if get it to us like in the next hour or so if you want to put any sponsorship for Millstream. Or even Fremont next week. We still got time for Fremont sponsors to be added. Dave wants to know where Ron Miller Race Cars is. Make sure to rate, review us, share us with your friends. Thanks again to our sponsors, DCR Graphics Dominator Race Products, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Dipman Motorsports, Magic Moment Entertainment, where if you mention Hammer Down Racing Report, you save $100, not 100%.
Yeah.
Not 109%, just $100. Just want to clear that up off of Wedding DJ Service there. Again, he's booking for June 2025 and beyond. And, of course, Victory Fuel, the official the official beverage of the Hammer Down Racing Report. I got a little bit left here. So that's how I keep going. Thanks to our guests this week, I guess, Lavar Scott and Andres Perez joining us. And next week on the schedule is going to be Fremont Speedway champions, and we may bring Rich Farmer on to talk about the Friday night Hammer Down Clash,
right?
Which will be the finale.
That'll be really timely too, because
with the champions on as well,
and it'll be the next days.
There you go. So that's next Thursday night, and again, that'll be our first show with our new video platform, which could be interesting too. It'll be fun. I just thought of that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we should be all right.
It will be fine.
It'll be work. That'll be next Thursday, 7:00. Until then, get out and support your.
Check us out next Thursday. See how bad we can screw it up.
Yeah, and find out if I beat Ron or somebody should put up money if for whoever finishes ahead of the other, you and me.
Yeah,
we can put up money ourselves. So we'll talk. We'll see you next week.
See you, folks.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.